to nigga saying, Charles, we're gonna stay posted for a day or two, and then once little things calm down, we come out again. So as the Bologna family is coming out of, I'm trying to remember if they were going to a party or they were coming from the party when they got hit, and because they were right there by the house. So they were coming from like a barbecue or like a party that they had took place in Bakerfield. Now I remember. So the dad was like a manager, had a night job on some type of supermarket. When the incident took place, so many news. They put it out like it was a road rage because supposedly the dude was parked in front of it was blocking his car. The other one that would put it out saying, oh, he hit the dude, so he got out the car. It was a road rage and stuff like that. So they were coming back from a party, and they were trying to basically um, get to rest, go in there and relax, right? That's what it was said. So the dad supposedly was coming in and he was like, do this to refresh my memory of what was said in the article, but because I wanted to make sure you guys get the story straight. So at first everybody put it like it was a road rage. Supposedly the dude was blocking Popeye's car. He got out the car and got into an argument that he let off. The police made it seem like it was a retaliation to a shooting from somebody named Marvin Medina that was a homeboy of ours, supposedly, and we had went and trying to take him out. Douglas Lark Espada, who was Droopy from MS, testifying also as well, saying, "Oh no, they had went up there to kill the family because they had personal issues." None of that was true. So from the incident that happened, we don't know who this Medina was, Marvin Medina. We were not aware he was a homeboy. We never had a homeboy with that name. Whatever happened to him had nothing to do with us. Did they dish shot a homeboy that night? The Norteños, yes. Was it him? No. It was the homeboy Indio, Marvin Carcamo's brother, Psycho's brother, and his name is if I'm not mistaken, Juan Carcamo is called. His name was Rafael Carcamo, I believe so. It's three Carcamos in the Coyote, Indio, and Psycho that was the brothers. So when the issue transpired, they hit Indio. The homeboys were pissed off because he's the older homeboy, and they were like, "We're not gonna let this slide, so we're gonna do this." So Popeye knowing Indio, and since Indio had helped Popeye come back home with his homeboy, with his brother Psycho, so he felt like he owed them. So they had went up there. When they saw the Bologna family coming to their house from the party in Bakerfield, they had went up. Like I said, it was an event that we're coming back for. We didn't know if it was a birthday. We didn't know if it was a family gathering or whatever. They were coming back. The part there, the dad was going inside to try to take a nap. That's how what the family said, because he worked as a manager on the nighttime. Now, here is the part that was told to us, or at least what I gathered from Popeye himself, right? When the incident happened, Papa was cruising Excelsior looking for it. The kid, the youngest kid, I believe his name is Michael, was coming out with a Niner jersey on. He has some red on him. And when he tried to cross the street, Popeye hit the brake. The kid was so angry because he almost got hit. He started banging on Popeyes. "You motherfucker, you don't know where you at. This is Puro Norte territory." The kid started banging on it. Now, the family, when I said they were not gang members, the kid was lovely, the dad was lovely. We get that. There's something the family always does. "Oh no, my kids were doing." But let me tell you something. My mother didn't know I was gangbanging even though I was a gangbanger. She didn't know I was gangbanging until she found the letters on my arms. Once she found the MS letters on my arms, the only thing I told her, don't ever come on TV or crying or saying my son is not a gamer, my son is innocent, because it makes it look ridiculous. I understand that the mother instinct, the family instinct, always gonna be to protect the family, memory or whatever. And with this, I don't mean no disrespect to the Bologna family, but that's just what family does. Now, when the pictures of the kid first came out, we had seen it. I had seen him personally hanging out with them fools a couple weeks prior when we had went to Excelsior. They have a pool party over there. They had a pool party where we used to go play pool in Geneva. And I had seen him rush homeboys, hit homies with clubs more than once when we had went and tried to play pool over there. And when I say this, I'm not trying to make an excuse or trying to justify the killing either. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to make it seem like he deserved it because he was a norteño. He got what he got coming because it was northerner. No. I'm just saying that sometimes we as family don't know what our kids are doing behind doors or behind when they're not in our sight. Was he actually jumped in northerner? I cannot say that. But did he hang out here, have friends that were northerners? Yes. Both kids did. And to our investigation, to our knowledge, the dad have been a northerner back in the days when he had been younger from LNS. And again, I'm not saying this to justify the killing. I'm not saying, I'm just giving out the facts. He had hanged out, I don't know if he was jumped in or not, but he had been with the northerners back in the days before. Now, to the case at hand, and with, like I said, with this, I'm not trying to put a blame because there were northerners that deserved to get killed. No, that's not what I'm doing. But I'm just giving you guys the pure facts. So when that incident happens, Popeye instantly reached out for the gun because he didn't know what the kid was gonna do. Flaco tells Popeye, "Hey, fool, kick back." Well, Lonely Boy from the back opens the window, start game banging on the kid. The kid turns around trying to go back home, and the other kid with the dog were coming out to the screams, or I don't know what transpired, but the point is that they were getting out of the car, one of them, and the other was coming out the house. So Popeyes, to the news and how they describe it, was that he reached for the gun and reached across the passenger seat and let off with the gun. Right? That's what it was. That's the way it was put in trial. That's the way it was reported in court. That's what fucking droopy snitching ass said. That he reached over and like this and started shooting at the kids, and the dad got hit, and Lonely Bone opened fire as well. Flaco was just there. Flaco didn't have nothing to do with it. Flaco was there. Flaco didn't get his hands quick enough on the gun to let off. Because from the backseat, Lonely Boy has seen supposedly the kid or the dad coming out of the house with a bat, trying to go towards them. So they felt like we have to open fire. So I guess when he saw with a beer or a bat, Lonely Boy was the one that opened the window to tell Papa this fools are tripping. So Papa let off. Now, mind you, that's what it was informed. That's the way it was perpetrated. That's what it was put on, that he reached and started letting fire. But here himself, when he got on the stand, saying, "I was never a shooter. It was Flaco." I was with both of them dudes in the county. I was with Flaco, and I was with Popeyes in the county. And I asked them both, who have been basically on to pull the trigger. Lonely Boy, who turned in Flaco, who gave up Flaco, basically said that it was Popeyes. Popeyes trying to deny it, but it basically came out that he's the one that had opened fire to those people because both of them trying to reach for the cuete. Popeyes and Flaco, but Popeyes got it quicker because he was already touching the gun. Now, the jury found him guilty. I'm not here to debate was he guilty or not guilty. They shot those people, whoever is within their conscience. Popeyes or Flaco is within their conscience there will always be who took the gun and fired. I was not in the car with them, I cannot say that, but what was perpetrated was that Popeye was the shooter. He trying to say that he wasn't to save his ass. That was his thing. Now, 3 people got killed. One of them died in the hospital, then that one there. Okay, now their family lost a father and 2 sons. The case went to trial. He got convicted. Over with. I cannot reverse nothing, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Now, here is why Popeyes decided to become a rat and why he chose to go that route. So when Popeye was fighting his case in the county, he was a murder max in 850 Brian on red. You guys saw him a lot in the pictures when red. Well, that uniform in Murder Max, the way the 7th floor in Murder Max work is, you had the main line, then on the back block you had the homies and the southerners and the whites, and the Valle de Paisas, and then you had the workers tank. In the middle of those, you had 2 murder tanks. It's called Murder Max. The reason why they call those tanks is because you literally are isolated. They open the screen door, then they open the regular gate door, and then they go in, and then it's 3 cells. It's basically 3 cells, like a little alley. At the end of the hallway is a shower. In front of the cells, there's 2 phones that you come out, and you only come out 1 hour a day if you're not going to the gym, and you only go to the gym like once or twice a week if you're lucky. And you want to walk alone. Like, basically, when I was in Murder Man, I wasn't walk alone. They wouldn't let me go with the older dudes. Only with a Samoan that I didn't have a problem with because there was a northerner next to us. So they house 3 people in each. F tank or G tank. Or E tank or F tank. Those are the Murder Max tanks in 850 Brian. People that been to 850 Brian know the tank, know what I'm talking about. Well, Popeye was an F tank across from where I was at. I was in E tank. Now, in that tank, it was Popeyes and the last and the middle cell. And it was a Kumi, black, and the front cell. And then there was a transgender guy on the last cell. In E-Tank, we had the Chinese that had killed the whole family. Then we had the Samoan that had robbed a jewelry store and myself. Now, every time we would pass roll call, Popeyes would answer and do everything good. He was good. He was programming with the homeboys and everything at first. Here's where it went sideways. They wanted Popeyes to testify or to give out Flaco, and he kept getting put out by the FBI, by other people, and going to talk to the police. So the homeboys got fed up and told that fool, hey, stop coming out and talking to these people. As the Southerners, we have certain rules we got to fight. We cannot talk to a psych, and we cannot talk to the police by ourselves, and we cannot go to interview with the police. So he kept going. He then gets into with his baby mama because she's not bringing the kid up to see him. And then it find out that Goofy's going to testify against him as well. So he sent a letter to his house basically telling his baby mama, the sister of the dude that was going to tell him, like, hey, tell that fool not to testify against me, not to lie. So they cut that letter and they made it seem like he was tampering with witnesses. Well, here was the problem that started. Pasadena's wanted him to end his case so Flaco could escape free. So Flaco couldn't do no time. They could forget about it. They wanted him to say that Flaco didn't have nothing to do with it. They kept pushing that issue towards him. And they kept sending letters to the homeboys trying to push the issue, tell the fool to get on the stand to finish the case, to catch his deal. Because they had offered him a deal, like I believe it was like life with the possibility of parole plus 40 years. And for him to say in this thing that Flacco was not the shooter, the Flacco was just there. Well, that didn't land with him too good at all. And he reached out to us and was like, these fools are basically telling me to do that. Well, the homeboys that were there at that time told that fool, just get it over with, fool. Let the homie go then. If you think you're fried, then let the homie go. He didn't like that response. So he said, Charles. Within a week later, one of the CO pulled me and two of the homeboys over and tell us that, oh, we tried to send him a phone call, Popeyes, to make a phone call that he needed. He couldn't take it because he said he was in discipline. So we're like, why he's in discipline for? And he's like, I'll bring you. He goes, I'll do this for you guys, because if I tell you guys might not believe, I'm gonna bring you guys the write up. So he brings us the write up, and then the write up says that when the police had opened the door, there was a blanket, there was a sheet from that had been put on front of the cell number 2 and was right. Let's say here's cell. This is the wall, and the cells go like this, right? And from cell number 2 here in the middle, towards the end of the other wall, basically there's somebody hanging a sheet from there to the other end. So covering up the view from the door and covering up the view from cell number 1. The only other people that could see and that could know what was going on was Popeye's cell, which was number 2, and the transgender. So when the police walked in there to open the door, the black next to us told us that he was hearing like a slurping noises, and Popeye's doing some weird noises. So when the police came and they walked in, they thought somebody was hanging themselves. So they rushed in, they snatched up the fucking thing. It didn't give enough time for the transformer to get off the floor, but it gave enough time to Popeyes to pull out from the gate. So the write-up that they both got was that they had got the transformer giving Popeyes a blowjob. Now, he was still active, homie, so that deemed him because he was doing homosexuality activities in the county jail while being a Sureño, so his career was done with. Once we got the write-up, we got at him and we were like, hey, fool, what the fuck you doing over there? Like, we getting word here. So he started arguing with the black because he thought the black had told us. So once he gets our car, like an afternoon, we hear like a little bit, like an hour later, he started talking to the black. And then we can hear because we just like a dorm down. But like I said, the doors are with like little pivot holes, like a mesh door. And we can hear this fool going back and forth with the black, and the black hear, man, what the fuck you accusing me for, fool? Don't be fucking writing me no cards, we no shit like this, fool. I ain't fucking saying nothing to your fucking people. So everybody gets quiet, and we're like, what the hell is going on over there? So Papa's like, hey, man, keep it down. I'm trying to talk to you. Like, nah, motherfucker. He goes, I didn't say shit to people. You over here accusing me. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you do. That fool can suck your dick all he wants. I don't give a fuck. I'm not the one that's gay. So once he said that, Popeyes get mad and start going back and forth with the Moreno, with the brother. Calling him on top of names, they get into it, and then Popeyes telling, watch, fool, when the doors pop open, I'm gonna come holler, I'm gonna come to the door, la la la, whatever. Then, out of nowhere, we start hearing the transgender argument with the black. Saying, motherfucker, you're jealous because I wouldn't give it to you, la la la. So he's admitting that he did that with Popeye. So when we get a him, we tell him, hey, fool, you need to clear this shit up or get this fucking write-up dismissed, or you already know what's up. Well, he gets a letter the next day from his baby mama saying that some homeboys had come to the house, threatening her and the daughter, saying that if he didn't take the stand and said that homie Flaco didn't have shit to do with it, that they were gonna come holler her. So he gets all paniqueado and he tells his lawyers that somebody's threatening his family. So the feds use that because it's in the phone. We don't know nothing about it. We don't know where it's coming from. The homeboy Flock was not nowhere near this because he's gone. And that's what pushed him to start telling. After we took him off roll call because of the homosexuality things, because it happened again, like a week later, the black dude yell out like, "Hey man, stop putting up that curtain. Don't let the cops come in here and catch you guys. You guys already know you both fucking." And he says the word F. So why the fuck you trying to hide it? So there was the second time that one of the homeboys was passing by, and they saw the curtain on that fool's door locking it, because you could put your friend in the peel holes, and the dude that was bringing it was like, "Let me talk to the homie." So he opened the door, and we got to the surprise that the homie saw the curtain there, and it was a white sheet, and he's kind of like you can see through it. So he saw the dude on his knees doing what he was doing. So we get him off roll call. This fool gets panicked. So he tells his lawyers that he wants to talk to the feds. He wants to basically tell his story, the truth. Mind you, the whole time Flacco is on a run. He don't got nothing to do with it. He's on a run. Well, what pushed him to the edge for him to become a full-blown and turn a rat was he was coming from medical. And usually when you in the hole, they bring you from, you go to medical the front gate, and then they take you towards C block, and you go to C block, make a right, then you make a left, then you go to the back block. That's how you get to the back block. They don't shoot you straight on the main line in the middle, because we were in problem with the main lines. They kept us a distance from the blacks. We were segregated. Well, he was coming from C block from medical, that one of the two homies were going to court. One homeboy, little Pee Wee from 20, and some other fool was going to court. And we had already passed the word, whoever catch him, fool, take off on him. So when they seen that fool coming and they recognize because he's in red, they get off the hoodas and they start running towards that fool. And mind you, they're only handcuffed one hand to another. So their one hand is free. Like your left hand is like this, handcuffed to the other foot, and the other foot handcuffed like this. So they only have one left free. So they run into him, they ramsack that fool. He dropped because he's a shotgun to start stomping him out, beating his ass. They get sprayed, they get locked. So he gets his hands put on, and because of that, he decides that he don't want nothing to do with the hood. So he goes all the way out. He starts telling, he gets on the stand saying that he was the shooter, doing this, doing that. And then he becomes a full-blown into a relationship with the gay dude. The gay dude's putting money in his book, he's taking care of him, and all type of stuff. They even try to sell up with each other to top it off. But as a murder max that don't allow you to have cellies, that's where he land. So in the meanwhile, the homie Flacco is on the run somewhere around South Dakota, North Dakota, somewhere down there. North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere around there. Without knowing, the lonely boy had got busted and had told them where he could find or where he more than likely thought he was. And then on top of it all, the hyena that the homie Flacco was dealing with, the brother of that female or the cousin of that female was in the trouble over some homies over there, and he needed the money. He saw Flacco's picture that they were offering so much money to recompense. So when Flacco went out to work or to get something in the store, her and that fool called the police saying that they were there. So they run up into Flacco. Flacco took off running, almost made it out. He gets snatched up. Flacco gets snatched. I believe it was North Dakota or South Dakota, some of those places he got locked up at. And then the dude gets caught. Mind you, Flacco got caught. So they were charging him with some cocaine that they have found in the house, and they were charging the female and the other dude with basically letting a fugitive stay with them. I forget what's the name of the charge, but Popeyes hears this, so he straight goes to trial, trying to shoot his shot, saying it was Flacco that did it. and they're in the process of extraditing Flacco to San Francisco. When Flacco gets there, he tells me the whole story, like, oh, this fool sold me out, this bitch sold me out, and the whole thing. And then Popeye's trying to get understanding against me, saying I did this and did that, whatever. Popeyes gets found guilty and then goes to prison. Goes straight to SNY yard. While he's in San Quentin, he goes to Alpine. Alpine is nothing but SNY. I don't know if because he had that much time that he did what he did, or was just because he liked what this homosexual had done. But when I get to prison, I go to the hole in San Quentin for doing a removal. He's in the hole for fighting somebody over a transgender. He's like 3 cells down from me. So when I'm passing by, I look at him, and when I said I didn't recognize him, I'm telling you guys, I did not recognize this man. He had his face painted, like eyelashes, lips painted. He had his fucking shirt tied up all over his belly. He was acting like a stray flower. There's no other way to put it. He was acting like a stray flower. So when I go to the shower, he's like next door to the shower cell, and I pass by, he calls my name, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? And he goes, La Popeye. I'm like, what the fuck, cuz? So I cannot sit here and say that maybe, was it the pressure that got to him? Was it the time that made him turn gay and made him turn a rat? But he went all the way out. He turned rat, testified, it still got life, then became a gay transgender. Why? Was it because they threatened his kid? Was it because of what transpired? Was it because he felt the barrio had betrayed him? I don't know. But that still has not stopped him from being him. Because when I was in Kern Valley got this thing that when you go to the hole, if you're not triple CMS and you're in the SNYR, they send you to the same hole as the actives because you guys share the hole. So I'm in a hole in B section. No, I'm in the A section because I just got there. I'm in cell 7 because cell 11 is already basically official mainline for the hole. But cell 10 to 1, they're nothing but intake tanks. So I get to cell 7. 2 days later, I get a neighbor on cell 8. So I'm not gonna. I seen what I saw was a dude in handcuffs with his hair long but all over his face. That's all I saw because I was watching TV and then I just saw him pass by. They start running yard that same day, that same morning. They start running yard. I sign up for yard. He signs up for yard. I don't know who he is. So I go out to yard. So I knock on his cell. I knock on the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, homie, you're active? No answer. I knock on the cell again. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, homie, you're active? No answer. So I'm like, so I yell at the homie in cell 1. Hey, fool, he's not answering. He's like, all right. We go to yard. I get it put in a cage. This fool was in a cage. And I could not believe what I was looking at. My eyes could not believe what I was looking at. My eyes deceived me that day. I was like, I'm tripping super right now. I must be on some good shit. I must be tripping right now. What I seen was he had his little fucking shirt tied up with like a little knot in front of him. His boxers, white boxers, all the way up. His hair put on a ponytail, like up with a bun. And his face, like his eyebrows were shaved hella thin. And I'm looking at this fool and I can see the tattoos he got. So when I'm in the cage, I'm like, bro, Edwin, is that you? So he turned around and he sees me. He's like, hey, what's up, homeboy? I'm like, bro, I'm trying to talk low so the homies down the way cannot hear me because I'm not supposed to even be having a conversation with this individual. But I'm like, bro, what the fuck happened to you, bro? He goes, oh, this is me. This is my life now. This is what I do. I'm like, nah, this is not you, bro. What the fuck? He's like, I'm still me. Don't get me wrong. I just come back here for stabbing the bitch, trying to get on my bitch. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I just stabbed a bitch for trying to get on my man. I'm like, bro, I'm hearing you wrong. You just stabbed somebody because they trying to get at your man? He's like, yeah, I just stabbed the bitch because they were trying to holler at my man being all flirty and shit. So I'm not about to have that. And he's doing the whole movement with the head and everything. My mind was blowing. So I turn around and start talking to the homie that was from the city that was active. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, you know that fool? Fool, that fool used to be one of the hitters from the hood. He's like, from your hood? I'm like, yeah, fool, that fool used to be my homeboy. Fool, that fool used to be a knock boy shit. He's like, fuck, how you feel for? I'm like, I don't know, cuz. But deep down, I felt a sense of sadness with a sense of anger at the same time. But overall, I felt pity for him because he was looking for something or somehow to fit in the world that he was a stranger of, maybe, or he wasn't no stranger, maybe. But I kept thinking back to his mom. I kept going back to his kid, to Elizabeth. I kept going back to their baby mama. I kept going back to them. Because if it was bothering me, what would it do to them? And I did ask about the girl, about the little girl, his daughter. He couldn't answer. He's like, I haven't talked to them in a long time. So I say to say this, that sometimes people have those type of characteristics inside of them, and maybe what it takes is a stressful situation to put them in a predicament that's messed up. I could tell you stories about him when I used to hang out with him. The shit that Papa was no punk, man. Papa was a hitter. Papa had hands. Papa will fight a nigga quick. So for me to see him now a full transformer gay or whatever he was blind, just blew my mind. Now, I tell people all the time, just because you went SNY doesn't mean the killer that you were once upon a time left you. He had just stabbed somebody because they were trying to get at his man. So the killer in him was still within him. But he was just representing something that maybe he thought that's what he believed or he was. But the system had made him become somebody that I never thought he would become. Could he have fixed his issue with the homeboys? Yeah, he could have fixed his issue. Because maybe we wasn't gonna, yeah, we removed them from the county. We took them off, yeah. But maybe if it would have come to us and tried to fix his issue, we could have tried to figure out a way for him not to, for that writer not to get to the prison system. Because like I told you guys before, San Francisco County didn't politic like that. Maybe if he would have just hang on a little bit, we could have got him over the hump. So trying to intervene for people start bullying his family, but he didn't give us that chance. I feel bad and I feel sorry for him because that's not who I thought I would ever see that for being. Did he shot those 3 people, or was it Flaco, or was it Lonely Boy? Whoever pulled the trigger within that day, some people say he did some, but here's the crazy part. You know when somebody shoots somebody when you're in the hood and the homies ask you, "Hey, fool, you done that?" Some of the people brag about it. Flaco nor him never bragged about it. Not even being in a confident of a conference. So I had many conversations with Flaco. So it fucks with my head because I had a gut feeling that I know who did it, but I never asked him that question. I never flat out was like, "Hey, fool, la la la."
I didn't understand that.
I never asked him that question because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know exact to the stream of what had transpired. With that being said, man, I hope you guys had liked the video and it was worth the wait. I do have stories of him when he had knocked shit down that I will be telling. That he told me something that I've seen, and we go from there. But the thing is, I have to be really careful how I tell him for the fact that he never got tried, or he never did time for those stuff. But to tell you the truth, what people been waiting, you might be disappointed. Edwin Brown was not the killer that people thought it is. He's now a full-blown GBG, gay boy gangster. And that's his life now. I don't know where he's at right now. I will look him up. I will see where he's at. And we can go from there. With that being said, mi gente, I hope you guys like this story. It's long. It's going to be 2 parts. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for being mindful. Next story is gonna be what happened to Memo from 20th Street, who was the first shot caller in the first MS-13 to ever get killed by a norteño. With that said, man, be kind to one another. Tell your loved ones you love them because tomorrow is never promised. Let's get it, mi gente.